Greetings! No, wait, that one's taken. Hello. My name's Andy Kravlicha, and this is the third Q&A clip on my channel. Straight to the questions. Terminator asks, do you have any idea on a, at least for the price range, good metal guitar? My price range is about 500 euros. Terminator, I have the perfect recommendation for you. However, I am a Jackson guitar guy and you may not like what I have to say. Basing my recommendation on my trusty Dinky, the DK2, I'm inclined to recommend you another DK2, but of course those are outside your price range. There is, however, a solution. The Jackson X series has a guitar which almost exactly mirrors the electronic pickup structure of this guitar right here. Now, it's called the SL3X. It's an X series soloist made in Indonesia, but then so again is this SL7 guitar, and I've never had a problem with that. 24 jumbo frets, binding on the fretboard, these great shark fin inlays, licensed Floyd Rose tremolos, same as on this one. The same basic pickup configuration and the same basic electronics, as I said, the Duncan Design distortion and Duncan Design Hot Rails pickups. I would definitely pick up that guitar, and actually had it not been for my need to get a 7-string, I would have gotten an SL3X, because that's exactly the sort of guitar I have, except it's already there in a done and dusted package. So that's the one I would recommend for you. However, that recommendation is based on my own personal preferences, and please understand your mileage may vary. But for my money at least, for 500 euros, you'd be hard-pressed to find something which will make you sound more like me, if you appreciate my advice, than an SL3X. So there you go. Patricio asks, I have a Jackson JS20. I was interested in a new guitar. Do you think I need to buy a new guitar or use the money to upgrade my Jackson? Now, Patricio, this is a very important and very cool question. I would argue that it all comes down to, whether your enjoyment of the instrument is more important to you than the resale value of the instrument. So if you buy a JS20 and you want to hot that thing up, put in like a mad pickup, pull the potentiometers out, change the switches around, change the neck around, buy a neck buy a used Jackson guitar or whatever guitar with a bolt-on neck, see if you can make that neck fit, try out strap locks, try out a different, tuning system, try out different tremolos, an Evertune tremolo, whatever you want. Really all you're keeping is the body of the guitar, this piece of wood, and I would basically, in turns, change everything else and make like a Frankenjack guitar. The problem is when it comes time to sell your guitar, nobody's really going to be interested in the modifications you've made. It's still just a JS20. But if that's what you want to do, if that's your passion, that's really cool. But if you just want to plug and play and you're not too interested in soldering electronics, and then it's better to get something which is a little bit more expensive. And I would look, coming from a JS series, I would look at something in the, $500 to $1,000 range, keeping closer to $500, maybe $600, and try a guitar out in that range, because then you still have a guitar that's cheap enough that if you don't like the sound of the pickups, you can actually afford to get another pickup for that guitar without blowing your entire budget on something you perhaps haven't even tried. So that would be my advice, and please let me know how it went. Kubile says, tips on building a home studio, preferably starting cheap and building the rig up as time goes on. What are some of the things that you should spend money on at first and spend less on to replace after with higher end gear? Now, Kubile, this is a very, very good question. I am impressed with the quality of questions you guys are asking. These are very, very good, very pertinent questions, and I'm very, very happy to answer them for you. First of all, I would say that you need a good audio interface. Everything that goes through your fingers and through the instrument you play goes through your audio interface and into the computer. The quality of the analog to digital and digital to analog converters in that sound interface is basically going to determine the quality of your recordings. So I would go for something that has good mic preamps. I would go for something that has MIDI, even though you don't have it now. You might need it in the future, and it would be really silly to have to buy a new interface just so you can get MIDI. Some kind of latency-free monitoring. You should have the ability to record more than one channel. So if you want to record left and right, for instance, in an AXFX or Pod or whatever you have, you should at least have the capacity to record a left signal and a right signal and pan them hard left and right. You should be able to get phantom power working for that, because even though, and I'm not going to recommend this, even though you shouldn't start out with a condenser mic, you're eventually going to want to buy one, so you're going to need an interface that supports that. And you're going to need something that has like a ground lift or a high Z, some extra functions like that. Now for me, I went with the Steinberg UR22 Mark II interface, which checks all those boxes. But I've used Cubase since 2001, so I have a pretty good relationship with Steinberg from that respect. As far as microphones, just get yourself an SM57. It's tried and tested. You can use it for everything from recording speech to recording vocals, drums, guitars, bass. You can record anything with a 57. It's just one microphone. As far as a PC, you're not going to need a very high-end PC at all. I know I have an Omen X, gaming monster machine, but that's because I enjoy gaming. I don't use the full capacity of the machine for recording. One thing I would tell you is get a quiet chassis, because you're probably going to keep the computer quite close to where you record your music. And as far as recording software, well, most audio interfaces come with a basic edition of something. Reaper, Pro Tools, Logic, Cubase. Start out with that. And if you like the product, you can upgrade to the Pro version of that product as you go along. If you don't like it, you can always choose something else. So, good interface, an SM57, a basic computer, and then use the software that's bundled. I think that's a pretty good start. Next, a question that 3 people asked. Alucard asks, any chance you could put up a video showing how you warm up and your singing techniques? And Takeout and Alistair Bell from Aeon Zen, believe it or not, asked me the same thing about warm up and warm down techniques. Now, the sad truth of the matter is I don't warm up or warm down. I don't do any of that la 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 stuff. I don't walk around backstage going beep 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 beep. I know you're supposed to. I know you are. And it's not me saying I have some kind of superhuman talent, saying I know how to sing a lot better than the people who do. I've never had vocal lessons. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a singer. I'm just a guy who sings, So I would definitely say you should do warm-ups. You should kind of prepare your voice. But what I do is I get up on stage and I sing, I got sunshine on a cloudy day during the sound check, And then if that sounds good, I can kind of gauge how my voice is responding and go, oh crap, I'm going to have a bad day. Or, oh great, I'm having a good day. But I have no tools with which to fix that. So if I get up on stage and I sing, I got sunshine on a cloudy day, but it's not so sunny out, I'm in trouble. And I would very much like for you guys not to be in trouble. So don't do what I did. Warm up, take some vocal lessons, because one of these days my voice is going to burn out, and all I will have left is my huge intellect, my dazzling good looks, and my blistering skill on the guitar. Barbara asks, what exactly do you do in your day job, and do you enjoy it? Well, Barbara, I am a digital strategist. A digital strategist is the kind of guy who will take a look at something like disruptive technology and find ways to alter the business model to fit that disruptive technology, to use its advantages, and then to push the agenda for digital transformation before my competitors can catch up. Now, one of the things that my professional career has made possible is the idea of making music simply for fun. I don't need to rely on music to make money, which means I can take risks. I can do things which I couldn't do if I depended on music to pay my bills and to support my family. And that's something I've always thought is a very important thing. So music for me is a creative outlet, and one of the worst things you can do with a creative outlet is to poison it with the idea of depending on it for money, because that sucks all of the fun out of it. And if you want to burn yourself out and start quitting bands, take it from me. That's one surefire way to get there. Finally, Hallow334 asks, what is the meaning of life? The meaning of life is to get away with being clinically insane without anyone figuring it out and taking you away in a white van. Now, the meaning of life is to have fun. I don't believe that, personally, that life has any higher meaning, that you need to justify your existence to the universe by doing good or anything like that. I think that your foremost and primary duty is to the people around you in your life and to yourself to kind of lighten the load on yourself, on the world, on everybody else. to inject a little fun into reality. That's it for this week, guys. Thank you very much for the great questions you've been sending in. And as always, you can reach me on askandyKravlicha@gmail.com or on any of the social media links I will link to in the description. If you want to subscribe to my channel, which would be a huge gesture to me, please click up here. To check out a series of vocal covers I've done, click here. And to check out, among other things, this beast in action with some guitar solo videos, please click here. Have a great day, guys, and see you later.